Hello and welcome to RC Birds, and thanks for stopping by. In this video I start with the build of my MF-01X car. This build is done for the Poor Boys RC Speedrun Challenge 2024, and I tried to do something new. My other builds were done step by step. Now I try to do a big one-take video in which I share my thoughts with you. Some scenes I speed up and the build isn't done in one big step. I take breaks in between. I'm not sure if this build might be done in one video or in two videos. The bodywork will be done as a picture slideshow, because it's easier for me to paint without taking care about the camera. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Oh, let me check the camera angle. Yeah, this would be better. Always be careful when using a knife. I sorted everything just rough. I for sure need the A-back and some of the parts. For the tools I have a scissor, a knife, an hexagonal knife, two different screwdrivers, a file, and these cutters. And this little bin with this magnetic for the parts. I think we start with the A-back. So let's see what we have here in the manual. The first thing is a definition of what chassis you have. This is the M chassis with 225mm length and the high version. Here they show you the different chassis lengths you can build, S, M and L. You can only build with this kit one length. It's because of the main drive shaft, they are different in the length. The other plastic parts are in the kit. You can also choose between low and high ground clearance. This can be done with every car. The first thing is to charge the battery. I have a nickel pack which is already charged, and for this I don't work with it. We start with the rear differential in step 3. And as I said, back A. Always check that you get every screw out. I already searched some times the dustbins because one screw was in here and I throw it away first. So I've disciplined me that I put every bag which I had opened into the box and not throw it away, so that I can check if something is missing. Front and rear differentials are the same, and I know some out there did both here in step 3. But not for me. I like to keep them separate. For sure this is because I do so many upgrades and changes, I don't want to get confused. Pliers, I forgot pliers. Are they kidding me? Where are the washers? Ah, here they are. See, it's always great to have everything at hand. The grease I don't use. The great advantage of Tamiya manuals is that you got 1x1 sketches for the pieces. Yeah, now I got everything. It's gonna be greasy. As always, I use my boat grease, and this time I really go crazy on it, because these gears will speed up really fast. I don't want to get the gears damaged. This is for the differentials like all the other gears. And so I'm going crazy with the grease and nothing should happen. I first thought about slowing down the rear gear by using silicone grease, but I heard, I think it was Rex, that this method is only good for running on grass and for running on tarmac or streets. A locked or almost locked differential might be not so good. Yeah. I need a smaller screwdriver. Yeah. Definitely more grip. Don't over tighten the screws. As soon as they stop, you're done. Now I'm coming to step 4, and this is the first time I use my upgrade parts, like the ball bearings, the motor mount or the speed gear here. I sand it here on the side because I don't want to get splinters into the grease. I'm not sure if this foam is right set it here. Because the motor will probably get very hot and melt the thing. And it's the wrong place. It's not the marking you see here. It has to be settled here. I'm not sure if I have to use the screws, so I put them aside. Right now it fits perfect. And again, grease. Okay, the inner gear looks a little bit bigger and the outer gear a little bit smaller. These are the same. So I think this gear and this gear, this is where the magic happens. The shaft I don't grease, because I grease the ball bearings and then the grease will be distributed. Step 4 is done. I have to clean my hands. Hands clean. Now going on with step 5. Metal bearings. I'm here going on ball bearings too. If they aren't in the set, I have some in spare. And we need the other part of the gearbox. Again, I'm doing this off camera. So this is step 5. Step 6 is putting the two parts together and including this gear and a new shaft and some foam again. But the foam work I'll do as soon as both parts are together and I had cleaned up my fingers. In this case, I don't grease the whole thing before I put it in. Oh, wrong side. Now it's much easier to grease. And again the standard 10mm screws. Here are some points I like to grease too, just to be sure. Yet I don't put the screws too deep in. As soon as I got them fixed, I will screw them until they stop. And clean up a little bit the gearbox. So, step 6 is done. Before I get to step 7, I do a little bit cleaning up the disc. Now we need a part from the B tree, which is B7. This will be the damper stay, and for this I need this tool. They say that you put on the brass screws first. As it stops, it's good. And the same as on the other steps. First get the screws in place and then start to tighten them. Step 7 is done. On step 7 it's about the radio and the servo saver. I don't want to use this, but as I see here it has 2 screws and my aluminum servo horn has only 1 screw. I don't know how I will solve this. Nope. It has to be 2. I do a little stop, think about it, and then I'm back again. Okay, my problem is the servo horn I have. Yep, just 1 hole. And even nowadays these are made of hard plastic, not of aluminum. But the first thing I like to do is to bind the receiver. Open up this really careful so you don't cut the antenna or aerial. This is wrong. Here is a DIN plug in. And here's a Tamiya plug. Yeah. But the kit comes along with a 1060 and a Tamiya plug or an adapter. What for did I have bought a second 1060? Here's already a DIN plug in. For some testing I'd use the adapter. First task is the binding. Battery plugged in, this in. Channel 1 for the servos, channel 2 for the ESC. And now I need a little pin. Binding is always very interesting. Okay, we use the digital servo. So I switch it to digital. Now the system is set up for further build. There are 3 different adapters for the servo. P5. Before I start with the servo saver and what I'm doing with it, I have to do some preparations, line up the parts as they are used later on. My idea now is I use some super glue. So right now it's time for a little break to let this dry out. Most of the time you cannot use the screws which are coming along with the servo, so they gave you this scheme with the different screws they give you. They have the right length and you just have to figure out which thread is used. For me it's always the machine thread and the 3mm because I use many of these servos. For the attachment of the former servo saver, I leave the radio system on, so I cannot slightly move it. This is not done for the whole process, this is only done for the adjustment. I need some new thread lock gel. So you have to get an alignment for the servo, like it's shown here. Wow, never had this before. Most of the time they were a little bit to the left or to the right, and this is almost the point in the middle. Some more adjustment will be done later. It really feels good. There is no movement in it. It's not a metal part, but a plastic part. And I think this will work. Okay, so far so good. I already edited the first footages and I see that we are around the 20-minute mark, which is a really long video. So I thank you if you stayed with me until yet. And for this video, I do the steps 9, 10 and 11, which is the back A. Then the back B comes with step 12. And I think then the most and time-consuming parts are done. Here are still some adjustments to do. The servo has to be centered in the servo mount. And after this, the servo mount also has to be centered to the chassis. Therefore, there are 3 different adapters depending on the width of your servo. And here for this in step 10, they divide between a Tamiya servo and your personal servo. And therefore you have 2 adapters to adjust the height of the servo. Here they say 24 millimeters. To make it easier for you, I do chapters with every step. Oh, one thing I had forgotten is to put the steering rings on the ball ends. So, for now, back A is done. If you stayed with me until here, I thank you for watching. If you got some questions, the comment section is yours. And as always, please like, share and subscribe. See you soon on RC Birds.